This program is proudly brought to you by the Australian Institute of Management. Realise your power. Visit aim.com.au.
I think the key challenge for us is probably the disparity in terms of geography. I think from our perspective, we've got a very broad demographic, a wide range of ages, and they're in multiple countries. So from our perspective, it's very difficult to keep a tab on people when they're in football, and sport in general is a constant state of transition. And being a global sport, that transition is not just in and out of leagues, it's in and out of the game. So because of that transition, it's very hard to keep a track and remain in touch. So we have to work very diligently, very hard to make sure that we can maintain those level of relationships, so that we know where all of our athletes are at any one time, and knowing them just not only geography, but where they're at in their careers, where they're at in their requisite studies, because the biggest part for us is making sure that the athletes leave the game in a better position than what they entered the game in.
From our point of view, I mean, if you just look at some numbers, we have, call it 400 professional footballers, whether they be at home or abroad. So, each one of those careers is very unique if we want to compete at the highest level. We want to compete at the World Cup and be the best. We've got 400 potentials that we really have to look after. In Brazil there's 16,000. So, it's a lot easier for them to lose the opportunity for one player because there's another Neymar knocking on the door. So that's what we're trying to entrench, that's what we're trying to find, just that balance where we can have these guys that they've come out the other side in a better way.
The relationship with AIM is quite unique by comparison to, and it's quite unique to this program. AIM's got a level of flexibility that we haven't necessarily been able to provide to the players historically, and that flexibility comes through off-site learning, online learning, short courses, things like that. So one of the difficulties I think for an athlete is, if you haven't studied for an extended period of time, is transitioning into that study process, not just necessarily turning around and saying, right, now you've got to write a thesis. And so this actually eases them into that process, and it gives them an opportunity to sort of find their feet through that for what they want to achieve after football.
Starting to move into the transition period, the life after football, the career, and these are the things that we've gained some funding and we're working ever so hard. And just from, look, we've always had it, we just haven't been able to have it at the level that we'd like. But having some player development managers at each club now that it might not sound like a lot to you, but having them there 2 days a week is a big thing for our members, and that engagement level, and we're starting to see that our members are taking on education while they're playing. They're trying to find that balance.
So you could dip your toe in the water with a few short courses and really get an understanding of what you do, and then naturally an athlete or any person will gravitate towards something with time. And so the short courses have been a fantastic gateway for the athletes. We've got a level of flexibility. We've got that, for our overseas members, there's the online options. For our domestic guys, the AIM being in the capital cities, we've had great proximity to the players. I mean, the domestic code is geographically based within proximity to an AIM facility. So from that perspective, it's been really good. I think the other thing that we've got is the AIM. It's not a brand that instills fear. I think sometimes big educational institutions, some people can balk at, and it's purely because an athlete wants to be an athlete first and foremost. Their principal employment is to be a footballer. So we don't want to do anything that has to really scare them away or detract them from what they're trying to achieve. We want them to be the best possible footballer, but certainly considering these things. And I think the AIM, both the marketing collateral that the players receive, the information the players receive, it's quite welcoming and warming, and it speaks to them in a language that they can go, okay, well, I can see myself doing this. I can see myself dedicating a day to doing a short course. I can see myself being able to manage this in line with my current workload, which is that of an athlete.
Look, it's been important for a long while, and it's something that's been on the back of my mind, and it's something that I've been trying to pursue. The difficulty with, while it's become a lot easier with with the web and things like that, trying to do some education you know, on the move.
It's twofold for me. It's certainly I've ongoing desire to improve. I think I don't want to get complacent with my career or my own ability, so I have an ongoing desire to get better at everything that I do. But also, I think when we sparked up this relationship, it was exactly the same for me as it would be for an athlete. I looked at it and I thought, well, this is manageable. I can do this. I can see a benefit to my career. I can see a benefit to me personally and professionally. And I think it's also a great story to say to the guys, you know, if I'm one of the people that has to explain to the players and try and get them to understand that AIM program, no better way to be able to do that to actually have my feet in the water and say, guys, you know, this is my experiences, and speak firsthand rather than anecdotal evidence. So from that perspective, it's been great, and I can really talk to them about my experiences within doing courses, and the players can understand that. So first-hand experience, very helpful.
Scheduling is becoming a problem. It's one of the key elements of our CBA. One of the issues that the players raise with us all the time is, you know, trying to find that balance where, okay, whether it's a Tuesday, half day, whatever it is, but just having that set in stone so guys can develop.
For me, professionally, it's important to continue to develop. I don't by any means want to think that I'm great at what I do. What I want to do is be the best and the best way I can do that is to continue to upskill. And I think the AIM flexibility has been given me the opportunity to really not only upskill, but also to be able to do it on my terms, which has become really important. I've got a young family. I've got I'm running a business at the moment. We're in the middle of the season of the league. It's just started, so you know I've got competing priorities, and AIM's flexibility and understanding through that process has made my ability to study really seamless, and it really slots in with my lifestyle.